of them and put them in the car. Whereas,
Right.
you see someone else, like you said, of a different ethnic background, and yes, the police have kicked their ass, for lack of a better term, before they
Yes.
even arrested them.
Yes.
Well, it's funny you say that because as reports came out about the shooting that was happening at the restaurant,
Yep.
people were like, it's always the ever question, right? When you're Black or any marginalized, community, it's always like, I hope it ain't one of us, right?
Right.
And so there's this gasp, right? Because it's in this all Black neighborhood in Buffalo, and you're like, oh shit, what just happened? And then there was somebody on Twitter, and they were like, oh yeah, they said that the gunman's been apprehended, and they're like, oh, he's white.
Yep.
It was like, oh, he apprehended, he's alive. Oh, he's for sure white.
Yep.
White.
Exactly. And then the other fact of the matter was when they called 911, the person didn't even want to talk to them. The person was like, okay, what? Like, was giving them a hard time. If a person say somebody getting shot next to me, what else you need to ask them? Don't hang up on them. What else did they ask?
Yeah, I was just reading that. I didn't know that part of it, but they said that they're probably going to have a disciplinary hearing and fire this person at one point. But I wanted to know the person's background too, right? Because they're getting a call from this Black neighborhood and somebody's whispering, and what bias played into how they managed that phone call. And would it have been different if they were calling from an affluent place? Would they have responded to them different?
You know it would have. They was calling from what's his place? They was calling from where did he live at? They was calling from the Hamptons at a supermarket there. Please believe they already gonna be there. Like, oh, it's shoot before they finish. Oot, it's gonna be cops there. They call from Buffalo. They like, oh, it's always shooting here. You know what I'm saying? Just, they don't care.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree.
You know what I'm saying? It's ridiculous. I wonder what. I hope it stops one day, but
it's not. It's not, because there's just, it's so funny. And it's really like about another show we were just having the other day, like this whole Second Amendment argument and my rights to my gun. Mm-hmm. And I think we were just joking about it on our last show. Like when they wrote that, we were talking about, what were we talking about? Bayonets?
Bayonets. It must
be, yeah. We weren't talking about AR-15, assault rifles that could riddle through communities in a way that it wasn't even contemplated in that time. But it doesn't matter. Like it's really a sad time.
This is not funny, but this is what I would he had his hearing, I believe it was today, or it might have even been yesterday, where they walked him in. But me personally, I would have had him escorted in by every Black Buffalo police officer we had. That's who would have walked him in and out of court. Since you have such a strong hatred for African Americans, guess what? You're going to be around them a lot now, buddy. But of course, he was escorted in by all Caucasian cops. And I actually could commend, he of course pleaded not guilty.
Of course.
A lot of people now are saying that they believe that due to isolation during the pandemic, his mental health status state was just not very well. And that is what he didn't handle well. And they think that's what caused this. But he, of course, pleaded not guilty. There were family members there of the people who were killed. And for the most, they were fine, except they said when they were leading him out, I guess one of the family members shouted, you're a coward, mm-hmm. Which if that's all they shouted, then
right,
they are to be commended, because
exactly.
they actually probably would have taken me to jail too, because that would have been one of those situations where you see somebody hop over the thing and jump and try to knock him out. I would have been cool with spending a few days in jail for that. So
hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah.
So we're gonna continue to monitor this one. Hopefully, well, not hopefully, I'm almost certain justice will be served here. I also think a little bit of penitentiary justice will probably happen at a later date to this young man as well. But with that being said, I kind of like Dandridge said, I'm almost at a loss for words. It just, every time something like this happens, it hurts my heart, and not just hurts my heart that it happens to African Americans. It hurts my heart, period, when you see people who just randomly go into places and just decide that they want to take lives of individuals who have families, friends, and are doing other things out there. I mean, while we don't necessarily need to take everybody's gun away, we do need to do something. Whatever that is, I'm not exactly sure, but something needs to happen.
Well, I don't know. Maybe the couple billions of dollars we sent over to Ukraine, while it's important, could be used to help improve our mental health system here. That's all. I mean, I would just say that.
I agree 100. And prayers and condolences go out to those families, the victims of those families, you know.
And all of the other mass shooting. I mean, it was 3 mass shootings. It was some California, Houston. Yeah. I mean, we've had 200 mass, over 200 mass shootings this year alone.
Wow.
And I follow this lady. I don't even remember her name, but she's like from, I don't know, Finland, Sweden. And she was like, it's just unfathomable to her that we still allow guns and all these people are dying. She's like, guns would be so illegal. And I think it's Finland, wherever she is. If you said gun, you would go to jail if all these people were dying because of guns, right? But here we are.
I would say we're more populated, we're more densely populated than Finland. So you can mention gun, but you can't mention bomb though. You mention bomb, they take you out to jail. They'll mention that like, oh, everyone coming after you. Like that one guy that got arrested because he said, I'm about to blow the bathroom up. He was talking about dropping the bombs, and they thought he was about blowing it up.
He's talking about dropping them Browns into the Super Bowl.
They thought he was about to be Al Qaeda.
Now, see, that's just a lack of cultural competence right there. Because you know, when somebody says, I'm about to blow this bathroom up, you know exactly what that means. I mean, that's the average cookout. What's happening here?
After 9/11, though, you can't say those trigger words. You know what I'm saying? 9/11 changed the OJ changed domestic violence, 9/11 changed travel. Those are two things that happened. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Speaking of domestic violence.
Well, I don't know if we can call it domestic violence, but
right.
let's just say the Shade Room and sites like that, they've been hot this week.
Yes.
It's been a whole bunch of stuff happening. They've been hot.
Our favorite wide receiver.
That's your favorite wide receiver. I don't even know why we keep. Let's not say his name though. I'm not trying to get him, off.
Hey man, whatever. I'm saying AB because if AB mentioned us, we get some more listeners.
So fortunately, you not the problem, Freeze.
Oh yeah.
If the other cast member says the name, boy, death come in threes too. We just can't afford it right now.
Right.
Ain't nobody else gonna listen to the podcast after that. Let something happen to Antonio Brown after this podcast. Did you say
Donald Trump and Clarence Thomas again? Did you say Donald Trump and Clarence Thomas again? I thought that's what I heard you say.
Oh man.
Well, you're gonna see how quick the Secret Service can round up on somebody. Let something happen to them. Just
right. Right. Okay. We're gonna be a mid podcast. They're gonna be at the door.
And guess what? My commissary will always be on full.
That is true. That's true too.
I'll be a cult hero.
Oh man, you're right.
That's for sure.
You're right. Yeah, you be
a full-fledged one. But so with that, AB and Keyshia Cole were in a very quick romantic relationship.
I didn't even know they were dating. That was all new information.
That was
how long did they date for?
About 2 weeks.
Right.
Is that dating? Is it like when you that's my friend? Isn't that how it be like, that's my friend?
Apparently AB thinks that.
Yeah. Like smashing an R&B diva.
Right.
So he says this online, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And she commented like, "Hey, B, you ain't gotta do that." And he puts her up again.
Well, so first he posted a picture of her lower back or backside with his initials.
Oh.
Is how it happened. And under that he had like,
wait, I'm sorry, go back. He posted a picture of her lower backside with his what?
you heard me right. His initials tattooed
Maybe.
on it.
She tattooed his no, I missed this part. She tattooed his initials
Yep.
Yes.
and they were dating for 2 weeks.
Yep.
Let's keep it moving.
Okay, keep it moving. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm going with it. Okay.
Yep. So
Mhm.
she tattooed his initials. He put a post up that said, you know, you ain't had nothing basically till you smashed an R&B diva, right?
Mhm.
So she kind of responded, like Freeze said, and then he posted it again, saying the exact same thing. So then she went on, she was on the Shade Room and had an interview on the Shade Room, and the guy was talking, I guess he's a stylist, he was talking to her, and she was like, yeah, I saw a black man who was, kind of in turmoil, and I like appreciated his struggle, and then we got together and did some work, and I was really feeling him, and I'm not even sure if he realizes what he said was like harsh, because when I talked to him, I asked him, hey, do you realize what you said? And he was like, well, do you want me to take it down? And I was like, well, no, I don't want you to take it down, but so the stylist was like, well, yeah, maybe he's just not receiving, what you're trying to put out. And she was like, well, yeah, no, he made it clear that he's not trying to receive what I'm putting out, but still I got love for him, or whatever the case may be.
Yes.
So actually I got the timeline wrong. So after he said it a second, well, I take that back. I don't have it wrong. After he said that, after he made the Smash and R&B Diva a comment a second time, she made a comment like, hey, AB, why are you doing this? I told you I apologize. I really miss you. Right?
Oh.
Yeah. She responded in that manner.
Wow.
So after this interview that I just got to talk about, her fans and everybody else were like, Keyshia, you must be crazy. Like, what are you doing? Like, why are you standing here defending this man that's like basically dogging you in public? And then she came on and was like, yeah, y'all right. She posted something and then she thinks she took it down, but she posted something like, yeah, you guys are right. I got a 12-year-old and I shouldn't take this level of disrespect. And it was especially for somebody that I cared for and loved, but clearly it wasn't mutual and blah, 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 blah. Right?
I'm sorry. Can you go back? I'm having a difficulty time here. How long did they date for?
You heard me. 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
How do you decide love? I mean, I might not even answer my phone for you if you call me and we only been talking for 2 weeks. How did you decide you love and care about somebody?
That's what Dandridge ain't getting flued out. She never answer your phone calls in 2 weeks of talking.
Yeah, I'm definitely not getting flued out, but I'm just trying to understand.
How actually gonna answer your phone calls after 10 years of knowing her. So
I answer your calls every time you call me. Don't play. You're being ridiculous.
2 weeks.
2 weeks. Right.
I mean, how did we get to I love and care about somebody? But Keyshia Cole has a very interesting history too, because didn't she like blow up the Birdman's house or something like that?
Yeah, she tried to set his house on fire.
She tried to set his house on fire, and something happened between her and Chris. Was it Chris Brown?
I don't know if it was Chris Brown, but I know something happened between her. Remember, she was dating Jeezy, and Gucci Man said he hit it while she was with Jeezy. And like I said, man, ever since her mom passed away, she really been out there. She ain't really got it all. I mean, yeah,
Wait a minute, Frankie died?
Yeah.
Where you been?
Oh, I've clearly been under a rock. I didn't know Frankie died.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Keyshia been crazy before that, but I'm sorry.
Of course.
So here's the thing. I think anybody that tries to date Antonio Brown,
right,
who hasn't been under the same rock that I've been under, that didn't know Frankie died, is clearly in the midst of their own turmoil. because you can't envision anything positive happening out of that. Because he's a
Right.
tsunami. He is leaving